Welcome back to one of my little videos. I hope you enjoy it. It's something that I've been meaning to get back to for a while, and I decided that now was the time. So what I want to talk to you about is my experience of last night. Now, for those of you who don't know me per se, I'm very much into alternative therapies, healings. I'm a practitioner, I'm a meditation tutor, I'm a coach and all that sort of thing, and I'm very, very interested in exploring different methodologies. And here in Ilfracombe, Karen Fergaline of Littlebirds has opened a therapy centre, and I've been very keen to get involved with her on one or two projects, etc., and that sort of thing. And when she said that she was actually performing a gong bath last night, I decided that I'd been putting this off for long enough for various reasons and circumstances and all that sort of thing. And come hell or high water, irrespective of what I was doing, if I was in Ilfracombe, I was going to be at that gong bath last night. So she'd said arrive for about 7:15, ready to start at 7 o'clock. By the time sort of 5 to 7ish came, there was only a couple of people, myself and two ladies, that had arrived. But then as we got very close to 7 o'clock, other people arrived, and so she'd laid the whole place out with crash mats and nice fluffy blankets. She'd asked everybody to bring their own blanket and a pillow, and as I say, at 7 o'clock she said, right, let's make a start. So she locked the door and we chose a crash mat and we lay down, and because I'd never been to one before, I didn't really know how the format worked, so fortunately she explained it, and we lay there, covered ourselves up with the blankets, and she explained that she would start with silence, then introduce some musical instruments, and finally introduce the gong, and that the whole gonging session part of it would be about 30 to 40 minutes, and overall the whole thing would probably be about 45 to 50 minutes. She then said that at the end of it she would actually go back into silence, maybe with musical instruments beforehand. She didn't know, it would depend on how that session went. So she started and she did a small little spoken piece, and then she started to play instruments. And for the first, probably about the first 10 minutes after the gong had started, I was more interested in listening to the gong than allowing what was going to happen. And whilst I was listening, I could hear various instruments actually sounding within the gong, and it was quite a surreal experience, really, because I knew that these instruments weren't there, but I could actually hear them. For instance, there was the sound of pipes, panpipes and things like that, flutes, even at one point a sitar. And then I did what Karen had suggested, and that was to stop resisting it and just to go with the whole experience. And when I did that, it was as if I'd gone into not a meditational trance, but I was certainly thinking, or I wasn't thinking, I was just allowing things to drift in and out of my mind, and not to sort of be consciously aware of them in that way. They weren't conscious thoughts. And so as the time progressed, one of the things that I found was that I was seeing and being aware of the faces of lots of deceased famous musicians and artists and that sort of thing. One of the clearest ones that I got was John Lennon. Another very, very clear one was Jim Morrison from The Doors. And then other ones as well. I won't bore you with the whole list, but these people were coming backwards and forwards. There were also very much symbolisms of Africa. At one stage, the whole vista of my vision was sort of this very, very jagged shape that was predominantly orange, bright, vivid orange, but with lots of red and white and that around it, and all sorts of sort of very flashes and all that sort of thing. And I also was aware that over time, just to give you the history, over time I've broken quite a few bones in my body. I've broken my leg, and I've broken my ankle, and broken my arm, and my collarbone, and a couple of ribs, and all that sort of thing. And as we progressed through this gong bath, I became aware that attention was going to these sites where I'd had these injuries. And it wasn't a painful awareness, it was just that there was some feeling, and I don't know what it was, I can't verbalise it, just some feeling. Maybe it was the energies of the injuries releasing themselves, or what, I really don't know. And then as we came towards a point, I became aware that the room was starting to the vibration in the room was starting to diminish. The temperature in the room was starting to become cooler, and in fact it got to a point where I was actually thinking, I'm going to start shivering in a minute, because the temperature appeared to be dropping quite dramatically. And then Karen brought us out of it. So whether I was sensing that it was coming to an end, I really don't know. But having finished the meditation, Karen sort of circulated amongst everybody that was there, giving them all a glass of water, and I wasn't spaced out, because that was too strong a word, but I was very conscious of being relaxed. And having had a very traumatic couple of days, that relaxation was close to becoming spaced out. And I sort of sat there, and I just sat cross-legged, lotus position sort of thing, and just allowed my being to be. And Karen said, "Are you alright?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." I said, "It's great." I said, "I feel wonderful." But I think it was just the lifting of all this pressure that I've been under in the last couple of days. And so I felt really, really great. We chatted for a little while, and I explained about the injury thing, and somebody that was there said, "Oh, that's interesting, I've not come across that one before." And then I left to say goodnight to everybody, and left, and then walking along the high street suddenly realised that I hadn't picked up my keys. So I had to go back again and retrieve the keys. And Karen said, "Everything okay?" I said, "Yep, absolutely fine, wonderful." Got home, explained about the experience to my wife Alison, and then felt I had to thank Karen, so I sent her this great long message saying how much I'd enjoyed it, how wonderful the experience was, giving her some insights into what had gone on, and saying that I can't wait to do it again, because it's like something I've never experienced before. So if you get a chance and you'd like to take part in one of these Gong Bath meditations, Karen is going to be starting to do them on a weekly basis. The next one is 2 weeks, as was last night. 2 weeks on yesterday, Thursday, and then she's going to be doing them every week after that. And I would strongly urge you to go and take part. It's not expensive, it costs about £6 to do it. but it's very, very much worth it. And I'm going to go back for more. I can't wait to go back for more. And so, yeah, get yourselves along to Littlebirds Therapy Centre on the High Street, 76 the High Street in Ilfracombe, and just pop in and speak to Karen. She's also got Heidi and Becky there as well at times, and just introduce yourself and book on one of the sessions. If you're into meditation, then as of about the 21st of August, I'm going to be doing a meditation session probably every other week to start with, and they'll be probably more than likely going to be on the Tuesday evenings, but I'll be putting leaflets into the centre before then about that. So as I say, please go along and just introduce yourself, say hi, have a look. You may even want to do a massage therapy session while you're there, I don't know. But 76 the High Street, Littlebirds Therapy Centre, Karen Fergaline, and I can thoroughly recommend that you to go along and just introduce yourself and take part in what's going on. And so that brings me to the end of this. Hope I haven't waffled too much, and I hope that you enjoyed it.